Welcome to Bank on Her. I'm Mackenzie Conklin, and I teach you how to make confidence a strength in and out of your business so you can build self-made wealth and unrealistic success on your terms. I've gone from defeatingly low self-worth to a multiple six-figure entrepreneur by learning how to bank on myself, and I believe you can do it too. Listen to find out how. Hello. Welcome back to the channel, Bank on Her. I'm really excited to have you guys here. If you haven't noticed yet, all our episodes are really leading up to July 11th for my free workshop called Bank on Yourself, How to Hit Any Life or Business Goal Using Confidence. And I actually realized this morning, I have never in my entire business done a free workshop. The last workshop I've done was literally 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and it was paid. So I've never done a free workshop. So I'm really excited about this. And why I made this workshop is because there are so many women who I either talk to in passing, clients, friends, who feel like the really big things can't be them. I was literally just talking to a friend and I was asking her, what is it that you really want? And she was telling me I can't say it. She was basically responded with, I can't say it out loud because it's so big. That kind of thing is why I made this workshop, because I want you to feel so safe, not even safe. I want you to feel safe and powerful and confident going after your biggest, most audacious life and business goals. And I just don't want any single woman thinking that the big, crazy, out there, no way this happens things and desires that they have, that they can't be for them. I want you to feel so powerful, confident, safe going after them. And that's what this workshop is really going to help you with. And there's nothing better than knowing you have what it takes to achieve anything that you set your mind to, whether it's taking the trip to Tokyo, booking out your business, moving abroad, doing $100,000 on repeat. And I've noticed through myself in hitting every goal that I set, and then my clients and the crazy things they do, that there's always 3 big things needed to hit any life and business goal you set. And that's what I'm teaching you in the workshop. So I hope you join the free workshop, the first workshop I've done 2 years, where I'm going to walk you through the process, the mindset, the strategies needed to hit any life or business goal this year by December 31st, 2023, using confidence. And you're really going to learn how building full-time confidence can be fast and easy, no matter where you are or who you are. The marketing strategy that helps countless clients double their income, because I know so many people have big business goals that follow me. And then the mindset tool that helps my clients fearlessly take audacious action despite debt, depression, disbelief, all the things. And so register using the show notes if you haven't already. But as I was saying, if you haven't noticed, all the podcasts have been leading up to this workshop, and they're helping overcome things. So for example, last week was about fear of success, fear of failure. This week, I'll say in a minute, next week coming up is why your inner work isn't changing your confidence or your income drastically like you want it to. All things, again, leading up to the free workshop, Bank on Yourself, How to Hit Any Life or Business Goal Using Confidence. So I want you to join and register if you haven't yet. And anyone who registers, you're going to receive, starting next week, I think it is, and you'll get one no matter what, even if you've already registered, a screenshot that you can share to your stories and tag me, because anyone who comes live and shares the screenshot to their stories can use and anyone who's already registered or is going to register next week is going to receive a graphic in their inbox that is basically sharing to your stories, hey, I registered for the workshop. And anyone who shares that on their stories and comes live to the workshop will be entered to win a week of one-to-one coaching with me. And I'm really excited about this. I love coaching new people. I love just having you in my world for a hot little minute and getting to help you out and help you hit your goals. And so that's really exciting. And without further ado, let's get into this week's episode, which is an Unlimited coaching call. And so we did a special coaching call in Unlimited where we do a ton of bonuses in Unlimited. Let me just say, so this was a bonus call. where I just like spoiling them. I like giving things away. I like giving them opportunities to win one-to-one calls with me, bonus workshops, bonus calls. I don't know. I just like it to be like, or is it, I just like to give away things. It's just so much fun. And so this was a bonus coaching call in Unlimited. As you'll see, I don't say anyone's names. I did want to make sure they got to stay anonymous for the podcast purposes. But I hope you enjoy listening on the call. It's always fun. I love Unlimited calls. They're my favorite freaking time of the week. We have 2 calls a week. We have just a year of the most transformative, confident, celebratory fun together. And so I'm excited for you guys to listen in on this week's Unlimited coaching call. In Unlimited too, the best part is we have such range. We have local business owners, we've had nonprofits, we have school founders, we have media companies, we have artists. We have such a range of female founders and people ranging from just starting businesses, whether they're first, second, third businesses, all the way to, we've had $500,000 businesses in there. And so the conversations are just so colorful and diverse. And we really like to make it so it applies to anyone. And it always just has a flavor of power and confidence and really owning who you are. So I'm so excited for you to listen in, and I hope you have fun with today's episode. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I was thinking about you last night in bed as I was going to sleep. And I was thinking about how you always comment coaching. And there are other people who have watched me start my business who are in this room, who can attest to, I used to comment coaching on every call I've ever had. There was no call where I wasn't going to get coached unless there genuinely was nothing, or there were a lot of people before me, so it wasn't a big deal. But I think coming to every call, knowing I'm going to get coached, I'll figure out what it has to be, but I'm going to do it, has contributed to so much of my growth because I'm being so proactive with everything. So I just wanted to say I'm proud of you for doing that. And everyone can always do that, but I'm proud of you because I think it makes a really big difference. Okay, cool. So let's dive into coaching. First step. And just for the podcast purposes, I'm not saying names so that they can say anonymous if they choose to. So if I'm saying next step, it's just for that. Okay, let's get coaching. What do you need today? Actually, you know what? I want to riff first. Can I riff first? Okay, I'm getting nuts. That's okay. Something that I've been thinking so much about, and I'm playing around with the idea that really changed my confidence, because as some of you guys know, some of you may be less familiar, I've not been a confident person most of my life. It's something that I've had to cultivate. I fully believe confidence is a skill. It is not something that you just have. It might be easier for some people. It is not something that came naturally to me. It's not something that I ever had. And I've been thinking so much about when my brain used to default to doubt. It defaulted to questioning myself. It defaulted to thinking I wasn't good enough, to now where it defaults to self-belief and banking on myself. What's been some of the change? And I think it's more of this concept that I think has been behind at least the start of it, is becoming your own first choice. And so what that is really about is seeing yourself as you are, as the best, that you love yourself, that you have what you want. And I was thinking about the different areas that I used to do this in. And as I go through it, you'll see kind of what I mean. But as you can see on the board, and for anyone listening, when it came to dating, I started having the thoughts of, I would choose myself. I'm such a catch to date. I would love to be able to date myself. I think I'm really great. I think I have so much to provide. I think that I'm a lot of fun, right? I started having thoughts about, I would pick me. I would choose me. I would be my own first choice. And then in friendships, I love my friends, but I would love to have me as a friend. I'm such a good friend. I care so much about people. And I was really just going through, as you see, selling myself on myself of, I would choose me. I would choose me in these areas. In coaching, I'm a coach, obviously, but I think this pertains to whatever business you have. I would choose myself. So thinking about you guys, would you choose yourself as a service provider? Would you choose yourself as a school founder? Would you choose yourself as the local business? Would you choose yourself as all the things you do? I would choose myself. I think the same thing with your life path. And I think this is a big one for a lot of people with personality, or I have down here too, yourself or your personality, life path, any of these. I would choose my exact life path, trauma and everything. And I've had to sell myself on a lot of that. Same with my personality and who I am. I would choose me. I am my own first choice in a lot of these areas. And I had to sell myself on myself, not for the purpose, by the way, of anything except I deserve to feel really freaking good about myself, as all of you do. And I think what's really important with becoming your own first choice is it's never, ever, and you guys know this, it's never from the arrogance of I'm better or I am the best. It's not that, but it's rather the energy of I like what I have. I think it's the best, right? And I think you guys know this. I think all of you are the best. I love each one of you. And I think that you get to think that you're the best too. So it's not that I'm better than you, but it's rather like you can feel that way about yourself. You can be sold on yourself, and it never detracts from anyone else being the best. But you get to be your own first choice. And so it went from where I was really struggling to having to grow into the mentality of I would never reject myself. I wouldn't pass myself over. I wouldn't make myself different. I wouldn't change myself. I love myself. I would choose myself. I would really choose myself. I'd choose me in dating. I'd choose me as a friend. I'd choose to get coached by me. I'd want to pay myself $10,000. I would choose this life path all over again. I wouldn't trade any part of me for anyone else. I wouldn't trade it for anyone else. And becoming my own first choice has changed my life. And I was starting to think through what are the things that really helped me start to think that way. And I think some of the things that I had to do was just act like I own it. And I'm going to make a whole movement about this. Act like I own it. Act like you own it. Some of you have heard me say this of when you look in the mirror, say, I love you. And I started in really small ways. So when I looked in the mirror or when I saw my a reflection in a car window, I would act like I really loved myself and chose myself. When I walk in the gym, I still do this. I will literally act like I own the place. And from a very loving, like I'm respected and admired and I'm doing good here, walking down the street or walking down a hall, I'll act like I think I am the best. I watch as I smile more. I hold myself differently. I'll do it in social settings. And again, if it's like a better than you, it's almost like a cocky, arrogant. But when it's like, I think I'm just amazing and I want to show up as that, I find that in social settings. And this made a really big difference for me because I'm shy. I started smiling at people more, and I have a really bad resting bitch face. So I started smiling at people more. I wanted to like open myself up, and it's just done so many amazing things. So I want you to start playing with acting like you own it, own who you are, own that, act like you own the place, act like you're already loved, act like you're that girl, act like you're everyone's first choice, act like you love yourself, act like you really, really own who you are. Just own it. So I want you guys to start playing with the idea that you very much get to be your own first choice in every area. You are the best girlfriend. You are the best mom. You are the best at what you do in your business. You are the best partner for someone. You are the best version of yourself always. Nothing about you has to change to become the first choice. You can just do it now. Any thoughts? Let me check the chat. I fucking belong here vibes. Yeah, exactly. And you guys can unmute yourself. What's coming up? What scares you about this?
So this actually kind of goes into what I wanted coaching on, which is perfect.
Cool.
So I feel like I'm blocking myself from moving forward because I feel like how am I supposed to show up safely when I don't feel safe showing up in my life? Like, how can I do both at the same time? Like, how can I heal and show up?
What's forward to you? You said blocking myself from moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Continuing to post about coaching and move more into that.
Okay. So what blocks you specifically from doing that?
The fear of being rejected, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know. I feel like I've been doing a lot of work to not care if I'm rejected in business.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I stop letting my fear of being rejected in my personal life get in so much?
Okay, I'm going to put the personal on pause for a minute.
Yeah.
what does being rejected in business actually mean? You guys have very interesting, I think, definitions of rejected. Because if your brain is like, oh, like me just not getting an inquiry, if we're taking that as rejection, of course it's fucking hard for you to show up because every day is rejection.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be it at all.
What do you is that what it is for you? Or what else?
I think I think like subconsciously it could be that, even if like I'm totally okay if someone's not inquiring all the time, because I do have the belief that they just need to hear more, and I haven't been posting about it for a lot. So of course they just need to hear more.
Oh, something's coming up for me. You know what? This is gonna sound so mean and awful, but whatever. But we're gonna go with it. I don't think I've ever been rejected in business. And I have been rejected in business. And I think the reason why is because when I show up, and you're familiar with this, I know you are, but when I show up and I'm not getting inquiries, it's very much they need to hear more from me. I'm just here to help them. And that's not something that gets rejected. And even when I get an inquiry and someone says no, it's not a forever no. And it's usually not directly correlated to me. It is not them rejecting me as a person. And I think that we can obviously, it's so easy to tie up who we are in our business, right? But it's like if we think about our sales call, you couldn't possibly know me enough to reject me as a person.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's that it wasn't the right time. You didn't believe in yourself enough. You weren't quite ready to take the risk yet. I didn't make you feel safe enough. Like what we talked about on the sales call, but it's not me. And so no one's rejecting me. And even if they say no, people tend to come back when you're really good at what you do. And you are really good at what you do. And even the people who have technically said no to me, they're still watching. They're still right there. They're still consuming.
Yeah, this is super interesting too, because as you were talking about that, I feel like I feel that way and that confident about my other business.
Wait, I even have to say to you, this is perfect. I totally forgot about this. You did technically reject me. We've had 2 sales calls.
Yeah, that's true.
You said no.
And it had nothing to do with it. Had nothing to do with you. It had to do with I didn't have enough money and I didn't feel safe letting go of any money.
Yeah, but even then, it's like I can take that as like, okay, I didn't make you feel safe enough on that first call to have you feel safe letting go of that money. And even then, I'm not interpreting that as it like I'm bad. I didn't do a good enough job. It's just like, okay, I can improve there. And also it's okay for people to say no and not be ready.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Like I genuinely I don't feel rejected, but it's because it's like, there's me and then there's business, like not business transactions, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's not me, and no one can reject you unless I think here's the thing is like, you're not going to absorb any emotions that you don't already have about yourself. So if I'm doing something weird, but I don't have shame about it, you can't shame me about it because I'm like, whatever, I don't have any thoughts about it. So I think with rejection too, this is why first choice is so important, because if you're not rejecting yourself, someone technically giving you a no, rejection, whatever, quote unquote, that's not gonna, if you don't have the feelings of being rejected from yourself, you won't have the feelings of rejected from them. So that's, I even think, very beautiful that you tied it into the conversation of first choice, and why I think it's so important for you to practice this, because if you're not rejecting yourself, that won't feel like rejection and you can move forward, even if in your personal life you are feeling rejected.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I needed to hear. That's like, yeah, totally. Because I've just been actively not choosing myself, and starting to choose myself has been so constant growth when I choose myself.
Yeah. And I think with us recently talking about getting rejected in your personal life, if you're taking like genuine rejections as there's something wrong with me, which your brain has been doing, of course, that's carrying into your business where you're like, there's something wrong with me. I can't take on any more rejection, which, like, again, quote unquote rejection. But the thing is if you will choose yourself, and this is why I said in all areas of life, in relationships and dating and friendships and every part of life, if you are choosing yourself, those people cannot make you feel rejected. And you will realize that that's on them. There's something going on with them. This isn't about me not being good enough. So I think that's why I want you to practice it.
Yeah, I really like that. That's extremely helpful.
Okay, cool. What else? Anything else?
Thank you. That was literally my question for coaching today. So that was perfect. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Are you ready for the next person?
Yes.
Yay.
Hi. So actually today is more of like a question around pricing.
Yeah.
I feel like this has been like a recurring theme for me where I feel like I almost default to market research and all of the external validation for people to say this is valuable, but it all boils down to me being really nervous that people won't find it valuable enough for the social aspect of growing a business valuable enough to invest in it on a monthly basis. And so when you were talking to someone previously, I don't remember who, you told them about how like it's about choosing a price that feels good for you, like you can get behind.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like I'm concerned about it not being valuable, but I'm also like low-key no price feels like I can get behind it because I've always had trouble with receiving and feeling like I'm like downplaying my worth. So
Yeah,
I know that was very packed.
no, it's not. So it's okay. Your brain is telling you this is about price. It's not about price. Price is just kind of like the coaching call yesterday. I just don't want to say it for podcast purposes, but remember, someone brought one thing and it was actually about something totally different. This is the same thing. Your brain is telling you it's about price. I think it's that you, like what you just said, fear of receiving. But I also think you have a narrative of like, people don't value what I want, like my passions, my gifts. And I think that's what's bubbling up right now.
I feel like even hearing it's just like, dang, that is very true because I've pivoted several times between when I first started and now. And every time I've hit a point where I'm just kind of like, I have to basically be super strategic and promise this like monetary result that I kind of don't care about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, this is what you're gonna write down. You might have written it down yesterday. If it's not me, it's not worth it. If it doesn't make me come alive, if it doesn't make me have fun, if it doesn't feel like it ignites something in me, if it doesn't feel like it's in my essence, my energy, who I am as a person, it's not worth it. So if you're sitting here being like, I don't want to sell like monetary results, then don't.
But then my brain's like, but then are they gonna actually like want this? It almost feels like I go into it already feeling like it's not gonna work. And I know that energy is preventing it from working, which is like, it's like a cycle.
Why won't it work? Why won't it work?
That's a good question. I feel like it, like in my brain, it's like it could work, but I'm almost leaning on the fear of it not working, meaning more than the possibility of it working.
Why wouldn't people want to invest in a social aspect? What's the limiting belief and story you're telling yourself around that?
It just feels like, I don't want to say fluffy, like it feels like it's less of a tangible thing. There's not really a result. I guess the result is just that you connect with other people.
Okay. No. Let's what is the result of people, let's say, connecting with other people?
Well, I feel like it's necessary. Like we're humans. We're looking for people, especially other entrepreneurs, understand what we're going through, to connect with, to celebrate with, to share about like shitty client stories and like ask for advice, or even just like, even yesterday when I shared with y'all that story, like having people say like, you went wrong, or here is where you may have messed up, but like, here's where you can like fix it, like having that advice, having that support. But I think in my brain, it's just like, I think I'm almost like imposing my monetary, even just thinking about it, like imposing my monetary restrictions on other people. Like I just invested in something non-super strategic for the first time, and I've been in business for 3 years. And so I think I'm making that mean something about the people who could potentially invest in this community.
I think, okay, I'm trying to think. Part of my brain is still screaming. I don't think it's about the money and investing. I think it's like a you're not sold, that people care about what you care about.
I'm not. Sometimes I just feel like a noodle, like who's just like, woo, community, friends, vibes, and everyone else is like, no, work, growth,
Yeah, but like,
sales,
okay,
marketing.
Here's the thing. People pay so much money to go to bars on weekends to meet people. People pay money to be in networking groups. People pay money for like Bumble BFF. People pay money. Hell, I'll literally pay $500 for a plane ticket to see my friend because I'd rather go see my friend than go make new friends. Like, right? Because it's scary. People pay for things all the time because they're craving connection. I swear, making true, genuine friends, like genuine friends who I can talk to about anything through my business, is so much of why I've been successful, of why I'm happy, of why I've gotten through some of the hardest times in the last 2 years. It's that. But you have to sell yourself on it first. I think that's your work, is you selling yourself on this is important. Same thing, if like kind of the first choice that we talked about, if you're so sold on it, it doesn't matter if other people aren't. You're going to trust that you can sell them to and show them. Yeah. So in the chat, so much of why I joined Unlimited was because I was craving community. Yeah. Yep. Me too. That's what they're saying. How can you sell yourself on this?
I think starting to view like what I'm passionate about as a gift, like I almost feel like my brain is like, well, most people can reach out and schedule an event or schedule a co-working session and have a good time.
No, but they're not.
And they're not going to do it in the way that I would do it. Yeah, I think,
Is that you having a gift?
Yes, is that
you're really gifted at this. Yes. Yes. And I think like, and obviously don't let me put words in your mouth, but your truth of like, a group is not the same as a community. This is what a community feels like. This is what it does. And I'm the damn best at making this. And I'm going to make it for you because it's the thing that you need. Maybe for money, sure, but not really because of that. Just because you deserve to feel better, because you deserve to have friends, because you deserve to not feel alone, because a million reasons that you already know better than I ever could. Because this is your thing. But I think as long as you're trying to solve the price problem, we can solve the price problem, right? We can solve the receiving too. But I think you need to sell yourself on like, I love this and that's enough to be successful. I will be most profitable, most happy, most successful when I own what I want to do and what my gifts are and where I want to play. What's coming up for you?
I feel like I'm so used to selling myself on things that I'm so used to selling myself on things as a result of what other people are saying. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm almost like, how do I do it on my own?
What do you mean?
Like, I do believe in it, but even you saying it's like, oh, you're going to cultivate a space in a way that no one else can. And I do believe that, but a part of me is like, but what if like you mess it up? Like, what if
I mess up all the time. You guys see me mess up. Yeah. What are you going to do if you mess up?
I mean, I always wait. Like, I actually hosted an event and we had like a drink demo, and I opened up the club soda and it sprayed everywhere, and I was soaking wet from the bottom down. I was like, y'all, and we just laughed about it, and it was like a good time. But I guess I haven't thought about that. Like, what would I do? I messed it up, or like I made a mistake, and it always does work out.
Yeah. It is, you have a 100% track record of everything working out. All of you. And you know what? The biggest thing that's going to happen is like you have a mess up. The worst emotion you might have is some shame, but you know how to get yourself through that. You have this room to get yourself through that. And then you're just going to pick yourself up and do right by it. And because you sell yourself on it, you're going to also attract people who are sold on it, who give you so much forgiveness and love and all of the things. You guys know when I have to move a call, when I have something, you guys pour me with love. You're not going to be met with anger and all of these things.
Sorry.
You're gonna have people who love you because you've sold yourself on it first, and they're gonna be sold on you, on the vision, on what you're selling just as much. But when you sell yourself on it, I think a lot of the things that you think are problematic are just gonna go away. What do you think?
I agree. I'm just thinking like, I don't know where to, like, I'm almost like, what's next? I guess just sitting with it, setting the intention and really reflecting on the reasoning behind me starting it.
Here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Go post in Slack, tag the channel for a peer call, and hear from the people who are in here why they wanted a community. Because a huge reason everyone joins this is because they know they've been in groups and they want to be in a community. So you can talk to people who have very much paid to be in a community and what they had before. I think you'll get all the things you need. And then I think it will help your brain to see other people are just as sold on this social aspect thing as I am. And I think from there, it'll be a lot easier to sell yourself. Yeah, the chat, I can give you a 1,000-word essay. Me too. Yeah, there are people, but of course, when you are doing anything that feels different, you're going to feel like, right. So what's kind of happening is you're like, I want to swim upstream with this. And I don't see anyone else swimming upstream doing this because everyone's going downstream. But it's about you having the courage to go upstream. But usually when people go upstream and do something different, that's where the magic is because they're being themselves. Be the salmon.
I love salmon.
Is that helpful?
It is very helpful. And I think also just thinking about how I've been sitting on this for so long and now it's actually happening. I think my brain's like, oh my gosh, are people going to even? But the fact that it's even gotten to this point where I'm deciding on pricing and deciding on features and deciding on, it's like, oh my gosh, it's happening. So I'm excited to see what people say in Slack, and I appreciate y'all.
Me too. Okay. Yes, I will post a photo of the whiteboard in Slack. Okay, cool. I'm excited for you. That's going to be good. Let's keep talking about it, okay? Taking a quick break so that you can hear from my clients. I love what I've created with my clients and what they've been able to do from our coaching, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. Here's what some of my clients have had to say while working together.
Working with Mackenzie as a coach has been so impactful. I have never in my life felt more seen or safe to explore things that really matter to me. The way that Mackenzie asks questions and is able to hold space and support whatever is going on in life or business, any combination of the two, it's really magical. I remember the first time that I was getting fully coached by Mackenzie, and I had gone into this place where it did not feel safe. Walls were coming up. Everything felt like it was crashing down. And the things that she was saying to me helped guide me to a place where I actually felt safe and secure in my body for the first time in my life. And because I continued to meet with her weekly inside of Unlimited, I'm able to really amplify that feeling and carry that into my day-to-day life. And it has been so life-changing. The way that Mackenzie coaches is just so warm and welcoming, and it gives you permission to explore areas of yourself that really kind of feel scary to do alone.
Next person.
Hello.
Hi.
So I kind of talked to you about this like 5 weeks ago about contracts, and I got like a lot of it done during that time, and then I had like an interview, and then it took me a couple weeks to be like, okay, I've got it like to a point where I'm like, okay, it's pretty much there. And I was like, I can send it over, but I just need to know like your email and a payment plan. And he just got the payment plan to me today. So I know I have to like send this contract out tonight. And I feel like there's like two reasons I'm avoiding. Like, I'm already feeling myself wanting to avoid it. So I'm like, I need to nip this in the butt right now because this needs to be done tonight. Um, so like one of the things is like the guy I know, he's like, I want to read the contract first, and then I know I'm gonna have questions for you. And part of me is like, he's gonna say no. And then it's gonna be like, no, this kid's not in my school anymore, even though like for 3 months he's been telling me his kid's gonna be in my school. There's just like this like fear. And then also I think there's like a bit of like perfectionism coming in because I know I have to send it to the lawyer's office so they can start like so they just have a better idea of what my business is. And so like there's a bit of like, no, this has to look at least like obviously I'm going to a lawyer because I need help, but like I don't want to look incompetent. You know how much I hate incompetence. So I think it's like both of those. Like I'm like having a bit of perfectionism coming like, and then the fear of what if these questions bring up something that he's like, absolutely not, we're done.
What would possibly, please fill me in, what would possibly make him be like, go from 3 months of yes, sorry, yes, I'm so excited, this is what my child needs, to no, you are incompetent.
Yeah, I guess.
Entertain me with this one.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. The thing that I'm really worried about is like I guess is one of the things that I'm not sure I've communicated that well is like I'm creating individualized curriculum. And so that's not necessarily going to follow state standards. I still want to have like the state standards in the back of my mind in case any of my kids re-enroll in school. I don't want to be, the reason that they have to go back a grade or something like that. So like I'm already thinking about these things, but like I think he just wants like a little more like confirmation that the things his son like quote unquote needs to learn from the state are still going to be incorporated. And I'm like, to an extent they will be for sure, but like I'm actually worried about your kid going deeper into a subject and understanding that he can learn anything he wants rather than like him just checking off the box of like, yes, I know how to do this math, or yes, I know how to do this thing. Because like he can teach himself that if he has the ability to actually like enjoy and love learning. All of that stuff is going to come easier once he gets to that point. I think I just gave the answer that I would give him essentially.
Might make sense to you, yeah.
Yes.
You basically, if he has a question, you have a very thought out answer, which I know you're only going to go way more in depth with when it comes to talking to a parent than me.
Yeah. Okay.
He also is aware this is the first year.
Yeah. Like I want him to be like somewhat patient and understanding through the process because like
waited 3 months for you. He is patient. He's waited 3 months for this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is like, I want you to see it as any parent choosing you right now out of your millions of inquiries, right? Is literally already so deep in belief, like to take a kid out of a school system into a new school system that is untested, right? That doesn't have to mean a bad thing, but is untested is such a what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's such a testament of belief to what you've created and how much they believe in what you're creating.
Yeah, it's like a leap of faith.
Yeah, and they don't care whether the contract's perfect. And honestly, I know you need to just get through this day being perfect. And I know you're going to get the contract out. Do what you have to do to get this contract out. I don't care if you feel like you have to perfect it. Just let your natural pattern happen there. But I think you need to tell yourself that a little itty bitty contract is not going to turn people off of a vision that they have for their child's future. They've already shown you such faith in what you're creating. You already have so much demand around this. Something very small like this isn't going to go away. And I know you know how to talk to these things. You know how to sell these things. Again, they don't expect you to have a contract. Like you're not a lawyer. They don't expect you to be a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
It's going to work with you. And I think your nervous system might just need to see and get through this trial with him to see that it's safe and that you can do this with more.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I just think you need to give yourself grace through like, this is a process that I'm going to learn through, and it's only going to get better. I want you to have the thought, I'm just getting started and this is about to get so good. Everyone can have those thoughts. I tell myself that all the time. I'm just getting started. And then this is about to get so good. It's going to be great.
Okay. I like that thought.
Yeah. Let your perfectionism flare up today. Let it be okay.
Okay. Will do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but I'll just mention it anyway and see where we go. But my brain's telling me it's not worth it. It'll just ignore my brain. It's being an idiot. But something that's been coming up in my head recently is a really random thought, but are my prices too low for the types of people I want to coach? But I don't, this is why I think it's not worth mentioning right now, because there's my other part of my brain's like, but I don't want to put my prices up, so it's pointless us talking about it. But I have this thought that, are my prices too low to deter the people I want to coach?
Who are the people you want to coach? And why is that tied to a price?
Now, the reason the thoughts popped into my head is because I've been actively starting to watch people's stories again on social media and try and like find fun in just engaging, but from a place of like wanting to. And there's these two people on Instagram, and I've been watching the stories, and one of them especially, but maybe both of them, I've been thinking, I would fucking love to coach you. Like, I'd love to work with them. I love the energy. And it's not because they look like they need fucking coaching. They don't look like, oh, they really need my help, but more of they're fun to work with. And they've been sharing the prices in the stories, and they're charging like double what I'm charging. And I'm like, oh, well, they'll never want to work with me then. And then my brain's been going like, oh, well, everyone else is going to be put off by your low prices. But
Right.
Which they aren't actually that low. I mean,
I would again, this is another thing where I'm like, is this about price? What I would get really curious about is how can you speak to the person that you really want to talk to and let the price just be a little number on the screen and a little detail that people will make work no matter what. Also, like, what if people are just like, damn, this is a steal?
Yeah.
It would never just like, I would never see it. Okay. If I see something I really want at a store, right? Okay. So let's say I'm shopping for let's say a designer purse, right? I am gonna go up to this I'm gonna go up to this purse and be like, I hope it's under this price. And if I really like this purse, and then I find out the price is so much lower than what was in my brain, I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to want to pay it because I was like, this purse is worth so much more to me. I thought it was going to be so much more. And it could be the same thing with you, right?
Yeah, I love that.
They can see you are such a strong coach, and they can see your stuff and be like, damn, that's it. Like, I'm ready. I don't need to have this like back and forth. Like, it's not really about the price. That's all I'm saying. It's not really about the price, but I want you to have the thought that they're going to think it's such a steal, but your price will never, it doesn't have to, we often think our higher price will disqualify someone, but having like the quote unquote lower price, right, which is your thought, it's not going to disqualify anyone.
Yeah, I really like that perspective shift. Like, what if somebody wants to work with me and then they realize that it's cheaper than they might have imagined maybe? And
I want you to focus. So just knowing what we've talked about, I want you to focus more on how can I speak to this person that I really want? And again, the price is like an extra detail, whatever, but it's more about who do I really want to call in? What do I really want to be speaking to? What do I want to help these people with? And going off that and letting that lead you so much more than the small little detail of price.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I think I am getting better at talking to like who I want to work with. Like I'm actually feeling really fucking good at the moment, and I'm in a really good place. Maybe my brain's just being like, let's find something for you to like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah. And in the chat, when someone wants to work with you, they want to work with you. Yes. And then how do you feel about your pricing? And I think that's the same thing is, we have to feel good about it. But either way, like I like to think of people, and I've told you guys this before when we talk about sales, people either will have the money or they're going to be willing to figure out how to create the money. And so price is it's just going to fall in there. They either have it or they're going to be willing to figure it out. And that's that. It's more about you speaking to them and you really calling in your people.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons I don't want to up my prices is because the price I charge now, like my brain can fully get behind it's a fucking steal. And I'm still excited that there are some people that would want to pay it. So it feels like a really good price. But okay. All right, then. Let's solve that one. Thank you.
Amazing. Okay. Oh, we're right on time. This never happens. Okay, cool. All right. Bye, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Join me live for my free workshop, Bank on Yourself, how to hit any life or business goal using confidence. We'll be showing you how to stop faking confidence, wishing you were further in business, playing small, and finally help you become the person who can hit any life or business goal using audacious self-belief. After the workshop, the doors to Unlimited will be opening. This is my signature program for female founders ready to build audacious self-belief and the skills to do 100K on repeat through confident marketing. The program now includes 12 months of coaching, curriculum, and community, and the doors open on July 11th through the 25th. Those who register for the webinar and join Unlimited before July 14th or within 48 hours of the workshop will receive a bonus intensive with me, and you can use the show notes to register for the workshop. I'll see you there.